Hello, Rocky Ridge students. This is Chapter 12, A Look. Mora courted him before he got 10 feet from Miss Sanborn's door. "Greg, look what I got last night, after we talked from the library." Greg was relieved. It was just a big book. Mora had it out of her backpack, and she pushed it into his hands. She was excited. "It's called Understanding Comics, and it's great. I read the whole thing last night, and I think I get it. Comics, I mean. How they work. And look at this." She handed him 2 pieces of paper. There were drawings on the sheets. Right away, Greg knew what he was seeing. It was a rescue scene from Mora's mini picture book, The Lost Unicorn. First, there was a close-up of the unicorn's head, with its teeth showing and nostrils snorting, and a reflection of the ogre tower, with its large, dark eye. Then, with a wide view of the character in its head lowered, charging the tree next to the tower, and then the other close-up of its horn bit into the rough wood completely with a spiky sound spoon. Mora had drawn the face of a princess in the tower window. As the unicorn struck the tree falling against the tower, the branches cracking, leaves flying, the slippery foot of the princess on the branch of the tree, the princess pressing her face against the neck of the unicorn, and then the princess on the back of the rearing animal, with the final close-up of her hand twined in the hair of the unicorn's mane. Mora had turned 2 picture book pages into 10 panels, comic book panels. Greg was speechless, blown away. The size of the panels, the sequence of the pictures, Mora got it. She understood how a comic book worked. These were just pencil sketches, and the scale wasn't always perfect, but the drawings were still so strong, so powerful. With little work, they could be inked and shaded just right. And they would be fabulous. They would be dangerous. Mora was watching his face. "What do you think? Are they good?" Greg tried to keep a blank face as his mind raced ahead. If he told her how great these were, it would be like unchaining a monster that was going to turn around and eat him alive. Because if Mora could make drawings like these, she could make fantastic comic books. And selling her comics, that would be easy, too easy. She'd get rich in no time. Mora was plenty smart. It wouldn't take her long to figure out how to make copies and how to fold and trim the pages. And there she was, standing in front of him. She wanted him to approve, maybe even help her, give her some advice. Greg kept his eyes on the paper, knowing that Mora was looking at his face, watching for clues. He frowned. Then he slowly shook his head and got ready to tell a lie. He looked up from the drawing. He was going to tell her these drawings were pretty bad. Tell her she'd better stick to her little picture books. Maybe tell her to give up drawing completely. And then she definitely forgot about the comic business. And she should definitely forget about the comic business. All this took only a second to spin through Greg's mind. It took Mora. He looked Mora in the eye, gave her a sad, understanding smile, and he said, but he didn't, because Brittany Paxton and Aileen Ripley rushed up next to Mora and Brittany said, "Ooh, this is so sweet. First Mora and Greg have a big quarrel yesterday in math. Then Mora shows Greg a little note in social studies, and now Greg and Mora are all lovey-dovey in the hall." Turning to Aileen, he said, "What sounds better, Greg? What sounds better, Greg and Mora or Mora and Greg?" "I think Mora and Greg. It's perfect, don't you think?" And then came a flood of giggles. A more experienced guy would have simply turned away and gone about his business, but Greg panicked. No one, not even the notorious Big Brothers, had ever suggested he liked a girl, and that girl might like him. Except for the area around his left eye, Greg's whole face turned deep pink. "Don't be stupid," he snarled. "I can't help if somebody throws paper on my desk, and I can't help if she sticks some dopey picture in my face either. Here, take this junk. He shoved the sketches and the books into Maura's hands and said, "Get away from me." Elaine said, "Ooh, so tough. We better call him Big Greg. Big Greg and Maura." Maura giggles. By then, Big Greg had gone hurrying to his next class, trying to put some distance between himself and the whole scene. And he succeeded. The gym all the way at the end of the school. And the second Greg got there, he grabbed a basketball and challenged John Elders to a quick game of one-on-one. In 2 minutes, he was breathing hard, sweating. He was losing, but that didn't matter. What mattered was he had gotten away from those girls, all of them. Away from that Ellen and Brittany said, away from their laughter. But what Greg could not get away from was the wounded look on Maura's face when he had shoved those pictures in her hands. As he charged for a layup, he thought, I didn't ask her to show that stuff to me. If she likes her pictures, she can go ahead and try to do something with them. It's got nothing to do with me. Like she said, it's a free country, and as he spun around and scrambled on his own rebound, he thought, I don't owe her one thing. What's she ever done for me, except steal my ideas and bother me every chance she gets? But after saying all that to himself, Greg could see the looks on Maura's face.